Hi guys, this is Josue with another Affinity Photo video tutorial. This is another video of me editing a photo. Okay, so right now I'm about to start the process of doing a few tweaks on my raw file. So right now I'm gonna start adjusting the exposure. So I like to go over, then kind of get it a little bit. You know that you see that histogram in the corner? That's exactly how I want it to always look, right in the middle. Too much to the right, that's a little bit too bright. To the left is a little bit darker. Doing a little bit of adjustments here, changing. I think I'm doing the vibrant and I'm doing some saturation. Now I'm going back, adding some black. Of course, the picture doesn't need more darkener just because it is already too bright out. But so it's a pretty cool software that I like to use for my wildlife photos too. So now I press the develop persona. So now I'm in a different section where I can do more heavy editing on the photo. I like to start with my pictures always just to crop it right where I kind of want them. I like not to crop too much just because then makes the picture a little bit dispixelated, if I can say. Right now I'm kind of checking the focus on that photo. It's not one of my best photos that I took, especially because that day it was about 31 degrees outside. But I know kind of the look I kind of wanted. I wanted to be a little bit of cold, and just like the previous video I did. So right now I'm gonna do a white balance. So I'm gonna start using what's called the curve adjustment, which is I find this is a really nice method to adjust the colors, because then you can add a few different. You can add a little bit too much red and make it a little bit warmer. It's just depend where you're shooting at. Remember, it's just red, blue, and I think it's green. Those are the only colors that you're adjusting. And keep an eye on the histogram, because I really like editing the photo, and I really like looking at that while I'm doing those changes. So I think right there I reached where I kind of want it to look like. Let's see, I'm trying to follow my own video again. I'm sorry you guys cannot see what I'm adjusting on that corner right there. I know there's another thing that pops out every time I click on a different setting, but I'm trying to follow it here. So now I'm doing a bright and contrast adjustment, which I think I'm over clipping the photo. That's the little sign that is in the corner of my histogram. So I'm gonna bring it a little bit down. So yeah, I'm looking at some sections. Usually, on my screen on my computer, I can tell when I'm overexposing the photo, and also with the histogram in the corner, I can see it. I can see where I'm kind of make it a little bit heavier. But let's see. Right now I'm kind of probably thinking what I really want to do on the photo. I know I did some changes on it, and I know these sparrows. They like to be like all over my place, especially like in the fans. The piece of metal right there was pretty good because they were all hanging out that day. So I say, why not, and take a picture of that. So let's see. Okay, now I'm doing I think it's a white balance adjustment now. So now I'm kind of gonna make the whole picture cool, or I'm gonna make it a little bit warmer. But of course, after I did the curve adjustment and I changed the to correct those colors and all that, I'm not gonna overdo that adjustment too much. So I'm just barely touching. I think I did like a 5% on that to the left, which was getting a little bit cool. Now I'm doing a vibrant adjustment, which I kind of was experimenting right there because I was like, what would this picture look like if I do it black and white? But nah, I was like, forget that. Go back to just make it look nice, natural colors and stuff like that. Right now I'm kind of checking focus again. Honestly, I was trying to decide what am I gonna blur, or what am I gonna take away from the photo or get rid of. But I decided to just leave the pictures how it was. I did an adjustment with the clarity. Then I'm sharp the mask, which is I use that just to sharpen the picture a little bit, but I can't do it too much because then it starts getting really dark. Starts making all those black spots, all those corners a little bit darker, and I don't really like how it looks if you overdo it. Okay, so now I'm gonna take some of that noise of that. You get a lot of that noise because it depends what the settings that you are. Especially that day, it was a little bit. Um, Probably I was over about 800 ISO, but it's still you want to compensate for that. So I kind of like it leaves a little bit of noise on the photo. You want to stay on the lower ISOs. So, like I tell everybody, the better you can take the picture before you start editing, the best it's gonna turn out. It's gonna be much easier. But you get to those moments that you just want to take a photo. You're not paying attention on what settings you are. So again, I like to play a lot with my overlayers. That's one of the things I really like of this software. There's so many overlayers that you can buy. Makes the job go much easier. You can actually create them. They're not that hard to create them. But I am not gonna take 30 or 45 minutes just to play with orbs, make circles, and get them all like that. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. So right now I'm trying to find the best blend mode for it, something that is gonna make it real on the picture, blend really nicely. But I can't quite figure out that blend mode on that photo to make it work. So I kind of was like, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna shut it off because I did took that layer. I didn't delete the layer. I just like turned it off, and then I went and put another layer just a little bit after that. I tell people it's crazy how much time you spend editing a photo, and especially when I do customers photos and stuff like that, I can take about roughly 20 to 30 minutes on a picture just to make sure, because I go back and I go forward, and it's a long process that you do just to get the best equality at the end of the photo. So right there I add another layer, and I think I did an overlayer of a different type of snow. Yeah, there you go. So those are more high definition overlayers, and I like to stay away from those a little bit, just because it makes the picture so big, like in file. Like, it's crazy. A picture like this, it could be like 35 megabytes, and by the end of the whole video, you end up with probably like half a gigabyte. So I really like this overlayer. It's the snowflakes are not so big. I don't really like that one that is right there in front of the sparrow. So I'm gonna go with my brush. I'm gonna get with my razor. I'm gonna get the flow a little bit lower. And ow, silly me. So to do that, I had to like change. Yeah, when I was trying to do this, I wasn't paying attention, and I was like, no, you know what? That's not how it's gonna work. And so I came back. What I was trying to do, I was trying to like, it was making me do another pixel layer, and I wasn't gonna let that happen just because I can do it in a different way. But I did correct that right there. Get going around just to see what else I needed to take away, but gonna do some cleanup right there on that side, just to make it blend really good, because that's one of the things that you have to do when you put an overlayer. You wanna make sure it can look the most real possible it can be. Now I'm gonna make the photo a little bit brighter or darker, but I think it looks a little bit much better if you give it a little bit of exposure on the sides and the corners, and keep always right the middle of the picture a little bit darker. One of the things I like to do a lot on my photos is like, once I get all the editing done, and then like right around the right hand side I got all those adjustments that I've done. Well, I like to make another photo, so I like to merge all that together completely. So right now I'm adding a little bit of like the little brightness all around it, but I want to keep just the top right corner dark. I don't know, just to kind of make it a little bit balanced. And here's what I'm gonna merge everything together. See, then I do a right click there, and then I go merge. Then it's gonna give me another pixel layer right there, which that means that is a photo of the whole thing with all the layers together. And then I do another blend mode on it, and then I choose the opacity of that layer, so it just kind of overlay. It's like an overlayer too, but it just like goes on top of my photo, and that gives me a little bit of punch. It brings those colors a little bit, it pops those colors a little bit more, and it just make the whole picture a little bit more vivid. And here I go back, and I'm just gonna add the final retouches. Basically right now I'm just gonna put my signature on my photo. Right now I'm gonna drag that thing all the way up. There's no need for it to be on the bottom of it. Remember, because every time you edit this type of pictures and stuff like that, all those layers, all those editings, and all those tweaks that you're doing to the picture, they just become a layer on top of that photo, and it just keeps building. So you need to be paying attention where you put in those layers, because sometimes you can get that picture all messed up. And I think my work right now is kind of a little bit sloppy, to be honest, just because I could definitely group a lot of those editing settings that I've done in little folders, so it keeps everything so complex and so tight that it gives me more room to do more adjustments, and I can just like label them too, and I can go back and forth, so I'm not like guessing, okay, I can't remember that layer that I did that, oh, I know it's this one, based on the type of the icon that is on the setting. But it all depends, but whatever you're doing. I usually like to take about 30 to 25 minutes on a picture, but when it takes more than that, then I kind of just like, you know what, forget, throw that picture, and then I do another one. So one of the things I like to do when I'm trying to put my signature on my photos is that I like to make that picture smaller, and then I like to move that signature all around to whether it kind of balance on the photo. So you will see me going back and forth with it. It's like I like it at this place, or I like it in the corner, but I don't know. There's so many photographers, they like to either put their logo. I used to kind of didn't like it sometimes, just because it takes a lot of the picture, and actually in a signature it just makes it a little bit more like really professional look. So I just started doing that, and that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys liked the video. I know, comment and like it, and just let me know on things that I need to improve on my tutorials. So I hope you guys like the picture, and I'll see you guys for the next time. Okay.